Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Chach. This is my co-host,
Alton Chisholm.
We just discussed this because I didn't know if it's a host or a co-host or that means the same thing. So now that we know,
Yeah.
welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome, man. This is gonna be a rough episode, man, because this is our first episode.
First episode.
This is our very first episode. We actually recorded our first episode about a year ago.
Yeah.
A year ago, and it never came out, man. It never came out. So this is a big deal. This is a big fucking deal, man.
It's a big deal. The biggest of deals.
Listen, man. We're gonna show you how it's okay to be a broke entrepreneur. It's okay. Is it okay?
It's okay.
You have any money?
I have no money. I'm lying. I have money. But I'm broke.
I don't have any money. I have credit. I have lots of credit.
I have a lot of credit too.
I don't have much money. I don't have much money either, man. I should be working right now, but I'm doing this podcast with you.
Yeah. I should be working right now too.
We both should be working right now. So man, let's just get right into it. I got notes here for us.
Nice.
Let's read.
Gotta stay on track.
Let's read these notes. You're supposed to tell our viewers and our listeners.
Yes.
Our story.
Yeah. So, story of the Broke Entrepreneur Podcast and our stories in general. We're two best friends, met in the 8th grade, 13 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Known together for 20 years now. It's been a long time.
It's a long time. It actually hasn't been 20 years.
It's close.
Hasn't been 20 years, man. You said that at my wedding, and I was like, that nigga lying.
It's been 20 years.
It has been 20 years, because think about it, man. If we met each other in the 8th grade,
mm-hmm.
right? 8th grade, you're how old?
12 or 13.
No, you're not. In the 8th grade?
Yeah.
You're like 13, 14.
If you're stupid.
Right? I want to say it's 13, 14. I think it's 13, 14.
I was 13.
You're 13?
We're the same age.
So then you're still lying because we're only 32.
We turned 33 in like a month.
So it's not 20 years.
It's 19 years.
You should have said 9. You said this
19.
man said in his speech, so God help me. He said, I've known this man for over 20 years. And I was like, no, he hasn't.
Hey, sounds better than 19 years.
But it's a lie.
It's all about the speech, right?
I mean, I feel you, though. I feel you. It was close to 20 years. Anyways, man, I'm sorry.
Huh?
I got ADD.
Yeah.
I got it bad, too.
Yeah, but so back to the subject.
What were you saying?
So basically, the whole Broke Entrepreneur Podcast is about a journey, and it's about our journey, and we're hoping that other people can relate to it. So we met each other in the 8th grade. We chose very different paths. I went down the education path. I got my bachelor's degree in computer science. I went and got an MBA with an emphasis in IT management. Just super education, working good, high-paying jobs. And then decided that I didn't want to work for anybody else anymore. I wanted to run my own company. And he went down a different path. He slanged pizzas at Pizza Hut.
I did slang pizzas.
Yeah. Working random odd jobs, and then he realized that he didn't want to do that anymore either. And then we kind of just met in this entrepreneur journey, and we're slowly starting to build ourselves up and grab clients. And it's amazing like how we just went two very different paths as best friends, but still ended up in the same spot.
So yours is more like the traditional, kind of like how everybody has been taught, right? You go to school, you graduate from high school, then you go to college, and then you go to, what is it, grad school?
Grad school.
I don't know. I dropped out of college. And I kind of just went off and just did random shit for 10 years. And, like you said, came to the same path. Like, listen, man, I don't want to do none of this. I want to do something. I want to do something that I want to do. I want to build something. I want to use my creativity. my curiosity to do something I actually want to do, man. So
Yeah.
that's how we here. That's how we here. In my notes it says I'm supposed to say my side of how we met.
Yeah. How do we
Right.
meet?
We met in 8th grade, man. Like you said, we met in 8th grade. I guess a little backstory. I used to go to a different middle school, right? It was like you had to wear uniforms, and I had friends there, and I had the same friends from elementary, right? But I just felt like I needed a change. I feel like I needed something else, right?
Change it up.
I need to change it up. I don't know what it was in me, but I feel like I needed something else. So that's how I got to your school, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my school.
It was your physical school, man.
Yeah. I was running that school.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man. And yeah, you actually you lived what two blocks behind me.
Yeah.
And we had to get on the same bus, which was on the same street, right?
Yeah,
That
same
was on the
bus
same
stop.
street. And honestly, man, like, cause I don't want to be remembering nothing. I don't really know how we actually met. We probably met in some way because you're a black guy, right?
Right.
I'm a black guy,
This is also true.
so that makes sense, right? But it's probably our personalities to make fun of people probably really just maybe you made fun of me, man.
I actually know where we met, and it was 8th grade in social studies.
Oh, that's right. We had the same classes.
Same class.
It's coming back to me, man.
Same table.
I got that goldfish shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It was me, you, and then we had the Latino brothers at our table.
I remember the homie. What are their names? Jesse
Jesse and
Okay.
Marco.
and Marco. Those are the homies, man. Shout out to Jesse and Marco. If you ever hear this podcast, man, hit us up on social. You
Yeah.
know, Broke Entrepreneur Podcast. What is it? Facebook and Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yeah, man. Hit us up. Anyways, yeah, and we actually had a couple of classes together, right? Did we have gym?
Yeah.
Social studies in another class? Like, did we have like an intro class, or that was a social studies class?
I don't think we had the same homeroom.
I feel like we had homeroom.
My homeroom was Miss Monholland.
She sounds familiar.
Yeah, she was the mean old teacher that nobody liked except for me. Tends to work out that way.
Yeah, she sounds familiar, but her name sounds mean, man.
She was pretty mean to most people.
Muhammad. She sounds like I'm not gonna go there. So yeah, man, that's probably how we hit it off. And from that point on, we have been friends. We went to the same high school, graduated, and you went off to the OC.
Yeah.
Where we are right now in Irvine. I stayed in Lancaster for 7 years after that.
True.
And then I made my way out here. And then here we are, man, making the Broke Entrepreneur Podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
And I can fill in a little bit of the holes. Yeah, so we definitely met middle school, 8th grade. Social studies was the class we had together first. We spent most of our time making fun of other kids. Surprised we didn't get into more fights because we were always making fun of somebody.
I actually didn't get into any fights.
Because he ran from his fights. But that's another story.
None of that's true.
That's another story. But yeah, so we met there. Then we went on to high school, and then we just stayed friends in high school. Graduated. I came out here to Orange County, Irvine specifically. Went to undergrad here. Had a great time. Went back to Lancaster for a year because I couldn't find a job.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was right during the crash 2009, I believe, when the market and the real estate, all the markets are crashing.
2009.
So I went back home for a year and decided to teach elementary school kids how to use computers and how to use Microsoft Office. And then I got a job to be a database administrator back out here in Irvine. And I did that for 3 years. was okay. I love the people I worked with. The job was kind of boring and repetitive. Pretty much just automated the entire job. I loved going to work, not for the job. Like, I really didn't really work. So if my employers see this from back then, you were right. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing shit. It was basically, I automated my job. And then
I feel like that's what you're doing all your jobs in.
I do automate all my jobs. So if I've
Off the record.
yeah, off the record. So I ended up leaving there after 3 years because I asked for a raise, and they weren't willing to give me a raise. And so I went to a company that was willing to pay me more. Um, after that company, I took a job with a consulting company, and I was making $30 an hour, which is a lot of money to some people and nothing to anybody who knows money and is wealthy. That's not really that much money. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was I found out how much they were making on my time. So this company was charging the end client $1,000 an hour for my time and only paying me $30 an hour. So
Yo, what up, everybody? What? Go ahead, man.
we had some technical difficulties recording this episode. The camera shut off. It wasn't recording. It didn't even give us a warning.
What's up with your camera, man?
I know, right? It's crazy. But
anyways, man, listen, you're gonna still hear the audio. Just listen to the rest of the video, and thank you, man. Sorry about that. Maybe we'll do better next time, man.
we'll do better next time.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, something's wrong. Like, I'm clearly on the wrong side of this because I'm doing all the work. I'm only being paid $30 an hour, but I'm being billed to the client at $1,000 an hour.
Dang.
And so that's when I knew I was like, I gotta leave.
That's a big difference,
It's a
man.
huge difference. $970 an hour on my time.
Like, they could at least give you $100 an hour.
Yeah.
And they still make $900
Dollars an hour on my time.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
so I mean, I know business. I know you need to make at least 3 to 5x on any employee to run a successful business.
True that.
But $970 an hour on my time, like, it's just wasn't with. I wasn't with that. So I ended up.
Wait, how'd you find that out?
Without giving away names, one of my coworkers was she managed the books, and she called me over and she was like, "Hey, like, how much do you make?" And then I'm like, $30 an hour, because I don't really care about telling people how much money I make. I really don't, because it doesn't make a difference. And then she's like, "Okay, well, look, this is the bill. Like, this is what they bill to the client for you, and it shows $1,000 an hour. Like, that's what's my time is being billed to this particular client, and it's a huge Fortune 100, if not bigger than that, maybe a Fortune 10 company in the healthcare industry." And I'm like, holy, this isn't even a big consulting company. It's a small consulting company. So I could imagine like what a company like Deloitte is billing for someone like me or my time. And I'm like, I'm just on the wrong side of this. And so I end up leaving and focusing more on business school, as well as opening up my own sole proprietorship for consulting. And so through that, I was able to land my own clients. And for a full year, I was able to hold on to 4 clients that were each paying me $5,000 a month.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, I was doing well. It wasn't like life-changing money, but coming from where I came from, it is somewhat life-changing money. But making that kind of money, you also make stupid mistakes, and you also don't realize how much money you have to pay in taxes. And when you're writing a check to the IRS for more money than you've ever made in your life, it starts to put things into perspective. And then from there, I stopped my consulting, and I focused more on VersaFit, which you may see me wear a few hats from time to time.
VersaFit.
Shout
out to VersaFit.
VersaFit, it's a great startup. It's a sports fitness app, and through VersaFit, I made so many connections. I mean, I got to interview Alexis Ohanian. I was interviewed for the Startup Podcast.
Wait, is that the
founder of Reddit? Yeah.
Look at him.
I was on the Startup Podcast. I was on CNBC, Inc.com, LA Times, like a bunch of like publications.
Hey man, you sound like an important person.
I'm not though. That's the thing, is right. You make all these publications, and what you realize is it's cool. You get to tell your friends, you get to tell your family that you get all these experiences, but you don't get paid for that. It's like it's like a pat on the back, but on a national scale.
But you look cool.
Yeah, you look cool. It gives you some recognition for your work. You're like, okay, I must be doing something right if all these publications want to keep reaching out to me and want to talk to me, so I must be doing something right. But a real business person, you may never ever see them on something like that because they're too busy making money, and that's kind of where my mind state has shifted to at this point of not necessarily caring about the publicity, but more about grinding and making the money by any means necessary. Yeah. So, and then like I said, we kind of, to make a longer story shorter, we kind of just moved to this point where we're both started from the bottom, because I could easily go back into a job, make six figures. I could go back into technical business consulting and pick up some clients, making six figures. But I only care about sports and helping
Must
other
be
business.
nice. Sorry. Go ahead.
So,
Must be nice.
I mean, it is. It's a nice backup plan, but I'd be bored to tears if I were to do something like that.
Tears.
So basically, where I'm at now is I'm trying to rebuild a consulting company with business, but focusing mainly on sports.
Okay.
I'll also still do some startup stuff here and there, because I mean that's still the dreams to make that big startup work. But it's basically just consulting at this point.
That's a hell of a story, man.
Yeah, it's a nice story, nice journey. I love it. I mean, I love the path. Like, all the money I've spent and invested and lost at it, it's all a great learning lesson.
It's all worth it, huh?
It's all worth it.
Because you love to do something.
Love to do something. The people I've met, the opportunities I've gotten. I was selected to pitch at the New York New Venture Summit for startups. I've got to travel across the country for business. In business school, got to travel to China. Got to go to Shenzhen. All these things I would have never done if I was never taken this journey.
That's what's up, man.
Coming from where I came from, I mean, that's huge. I mean, we're poor, 8 people in a house at minimum. My mom was always opening up the house to other people. So that's why I say 8 people at minimum.
My mom's too, man.
Yeah. We always had cousins and aunts and uncles and family and friends staying with us. And we were barely getting by, but that's just the type of person that my mom was. So, you know, I kind of, emulate that, or I don't even know the word for it, but
You did something with it.
yeah.
You took it and used it for fuel, man. You know?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Always wanting to help people.
Well, listen, man. I don't have like a blockbuster story like that. You know what I mean? But I guess how I started, man. When I graduated from high school, in my mind, I was like, listen, I'm not trying to go to college. I just got out of school, right? I thought I was gonna go to the service, like 100%. I was like, listen, my brothers went to the service. I'm gonna go to the service. And then it got to that point, I was like, I don't want to go to the service.
So when you say service, I know you mean military.
Yeah, the military, the Navy, Air Force, preferably the Navy. But I can't swim, so I don't even know why I chose that I wanted to go to the Navy. But I was like, I don't want to do that. So then I was like, I need to work. I need to work because I need a car, right? So I started working for Rite Aid, man. I felt like I was one of the first people in our crew to have a job, man. Like, I really feel like, I could be wrong.
A real job?
Like, yeah, like a real job, man. Not out there, slinging, I mean, out there actually, like, because I remember you guys used to make fun of me. Some of y'all come in the store, like, look at him behind the register, or scooping ice cream. I was the ice cream guy for a minute. But then I moved up. I became head cashier. Okay. But then I quit. I became an assistant manager at Vitamin World. Shout out to Vitamin World. Vitamin World changed my life because I got to read so much about vitamins, and that's when I really started to get into health, man.
Nice.
But then I went to school. See, I'm all over the place because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of like, man, I want to do something, but I don't know what I want to do. So I went to school to become a medical assistant, back office medical assistant. I got certified. I got my phlebotomy certification.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, man. I still got it. It's expired, man. It expired like 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I still have it. But I didn't do anything with it. I was like, should I get a job? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just kind of doing it just to do it. So then I made my way to college, man. I went to college, man. My first major was, I have no idea what it was. But I remember majoring in nutrition, okay? And then I loved it. And then for some reason, I stopped going to school. And then I went back to school and majored in, what was it, EMT.
Okay.
And then I tried to be a fireman. Like, I was all over the place. I didn't know what I was doing.
That's definitely all over the place.
And, yeah, man. And I was working. At that time, I didn't switch from job to job to job. And this is when I was slinging those pies. I was working at Pizza Hut for 5.5 years, man.
That's a long time to work at Pizza Hut.
That's a long time. But you know what I loved about the job? The freedom. A lot of people used to ask me, why are you still working at this job? I'm like, it's a job, but I still get to drive around. I get to listen to my music. I can be on the phone. I feel free. It was the freedom that kept me at that job. And the people there. Shout out to the people that are there, too, man. You guys are cool.
I love Pizza Hut. You're delicious.
Yeah, man, especially the stuffed crust. Man, I used to get free food. I can say this now, but I used to get free food, wings, right? Stuffed crust pizza. I used to make my own pizza. Okay? You know, it was a good gig. But at one point in time, I'm like, yo, I'm not doing anything. I feel like I'm not progressing in life. I'm like at the time I was renting out a room in my brother's apartment. I was just like, listen, man, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything profound. I feel like there's more to life than this city of Lancaster that we grew up in. So what really changed my life, my godbrother, my business partner, got married. So we all, my family went out there to Vegas where he was getting married and had a bachelor party. Bachelor party was super dope. It was like VIP everything, front of the line. We got a table like in front of the DJ booth. They set us next to a bachelorette party, and my godbrother was telling everybody that I'm a model. So and they were believing it, and so we was getting free drinks and just free stuff. I felt like a somebody, man. I felt like a somebody. So
it was the feeling.
It was the feeling. It was like, it was just getting out of the city, feeling like something. We were all kind of like dressed up, like wearing suits and stuff. So I felt somebody. I felt like somebody. I felt important. I felt like, I didn't feel like a Pizza Hut driver. So when I went back, 2 weeks after I got back from that experience, I quit. I didn't have a job lined up or nothing. I just flat out quit. After 5.5 years, that experience changed my life. But I got a job quickly. I was like, I get a job. Get a job. What do you got to do? You fill out an application, you turn in a resume, and you call somebody, right? You get a job. I never thought it was that hard to get a job.
Yeah.
I thought you just really had to put in work. If you really want a job, you just put in work, right? So yeah, man, I ended up quitting that job too. Day one, I quit that job.
I remember that.
Day one, I had to drive all the way down to Oxnard, which was like 50 miles away from home. I didn't want to do that. So what did I do after that, man? I got another job. I just kept quitting jobs. And then at that point, I was like, listen, I need to move from this city. So I moved to LA. I got a job at LAX.
Shout out LAX. I fly out of you guys a lot.
Right. But I had that same feeling just bubbling in my stomach. Like, what am I doing here? It's the same feeling I got when I worked at any job before then. What am I doing here? Like, I just feel like, is this it? Is this it? Should I, do I work at this job and just suck it up for the next 40 years, collect my 401k, right, and just retire at 72 or whatever that age is? Is it
I don't know.
65?
It's one of those ages.
One of those ages, right? I don't know. It seemed whack. Before then, I was already thinking like, listen, man, it doesn't make sense to work 5 days a week and get 2 days off. Like that's not even. Like, why can I have 3 days off and at least work 4 days? Right? So I was already like, I'm not with the whole corporate thing and doing this for the next 40 years. Like, something has to change, man. So when I got hurt at LAX, you know this.
Yeah.
I got hurt at LAX and damn near almost busted my knee where I couldn't walk ever again. It was in temporary disability, and I had to figure out how I'm gonna make some money. You know, and that's when I ran straight into the internet, man. Straight into the internet. I was like, listen, man, you can make money off the internet. That's crazy. So me and my business partner, we started a store, e-commerce store on Shopify, discount everything every day.
Shout out.
Shout out, man. There's a lot of shout outs going on in this podcast.
All the time.
Shout out to shout outs, man.
Yes.
So yeah, we started the store. We thought if we just build a store, we're doing drop shipping from China, and we were working with a company, T-Launch, I believe was the name, T-Launch, where they did our shirts and our mugs, and we could sell that. However, nobody was buying anything on our website, right?
I know the feeling.
So we realized that we needed to hire a digital marketing agency, right? And you know how expensive digital marketing agency is?
Yeah, depends on which ones you're using. Some of them could charge as little as $2,000 a month to as much as $30,000-$40,000 a month. It just depends on the scale of the company you're working with.
And that's a lot of money, man. Especially if you ain't got no money. So I was like, why don't I just learn how to do digital marketing? So one of my online mentors was having a course about digital marketing. So, you know, I spent what last money that I had. It cost me $1,000 for the course. And I spent the last $1,000 that I had.
Yeah.
Took the course. And I started doing marketing for my own company. And guess what, man? I got sales. Got sales. I was running Facebook ads. I was getting sales. I was running Instagram ads. I was getting sales. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I do this for other people? And that's how we formed Media Revenue Stream, digital marketing company that's out right now. You can go check that out at MediaRevenueStream.com.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, man. But anyways, so that's what I've been doing now. I've been running Media Revenue Stream. I've been driving for Uber and Lyft. I've been working for Amazon Flex as an independent contractor. I've sold things on Amazon. I work for DoorDash, Postmates. Man, I'm doing whatever I gotta do to keep the hustle alive, to pay my bills, and to grow my business, man. So right now I'm still going to school for personal training because that's my true passion, right? Fitness. So I eventually got back to fitness.
Yeah.
Right. Full circle. I'm bringing it all the way back around, man. Full circle. So my goal is to become a online fitness trainer and also train people in person. And because that's what I love to do, man.
Yeah. Nice.
So, you know, the broke entrepreneur that I am, I love the journey, man. I love the journey because it's what I really want to do, man. You know, just like you, I can go back to work and make like $40,000 a year with my skill set. You know, maybe more than that, right?
It's probably about 60, 70.
But I will be miserable, man. And I don't like cubicles, man.
Yes. Man. Jesus.
I don't.
You know what's worse than a cubicle though? When you're in
a ham sandwich.
Well, combine that, yeah. But what's worse than a cubicle is like when you're just in a box. So I had this job, right? It was a contract job, and paid well. Job was, I don't want to talk too much about the company, so.
Okay.
But the reason why I brought that up is because they put you in a box, like not like a legitimate room with no windows, There are no windows in this room at all, and there's
That's whack,
12
man.
people that sit in there on the IT team, and it literally drove me insane in over 3 months. When it came time to negotiate the contract for an extension or to whether we're gonna split ways, we both were like, we're ready to go our separate ways, because they were feeling like I wasn't putting in the type of work that they wanted for this contract gig, and I felt like I was losing my shit. I was stuck in a room with no windows, like all day. Like, that is depressing.
That is, man. Do you feel like you're an outside guy?
I have to be outside.
So you're an outside guy, man. You're a tree hugger,
I hug all the trees.
right?
I love them. I spend a lot of time on the beach. I mean, I live 5 minutes away from the beach.
I think that has like something to do with it though. Like, if you like really love to be outside, that it's really painful to be in an office job.
It is.
Like for me, like I have to see the sun, like Superman. I have to be outside. I have to feel like I'm free. Otherwise, I feel like I'm suffocating. Right?
Yeah.
Even if I was making let's say someone gave me a job right now, making $100,000, sit in a cubicle, and just do some data entry. Would I take the job? Hell yes, because I need the money right now. But listen, I wouldn't be happy. You know what I'm saying, man?
I was getting paid $100,000 a year to run reports and deliver reports to C-level executives. And I was bored. I was good at what I was doing, but it was boring. Like, it's like, okay, cool, I have to analyze this market trends and analyze the performance of this investment. And what's even crazy, when you have to analyze employees' salaries to determine whether or not you're going to fire employees or you're going to hire
crazy.
more. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So you're looking at people's salaries and you know how much money people make in the company. You're not, obviously it's confidential information, so you can't tell them about it.
Right.
But you're like, man, like, I personally fluffed up numbers so we wouldn't have to fire people, because that's crazy. I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, if I came back with a true analysis, like, we would have had to let jobs go. And I'm like, you know what? Let me fluff this up by a few percent so these people don't lose their jobs.
And you can do that?
I did it.
I don't think you can do that.
Should I have done it? No, but I'll guarantee you the people that still have their jobs are happy I did.
Yeah, man.
Because this was, like I said, right post during the recession when the people weren't making that much money, and the company's still going and the company's growing. So the be able to keep that same workforce actually helped them. Now they're opening up a new office. I won't mention the company because I ain't trying to. I don't know if there's a legal ramifications for what I did, but yeah,
I don't think that's legal at all.
it's probably not. Well, I don't guess since it's not committing a crime.
It's not. Listen, on the record, it's not committing a crime at all. Like, that's definitely not a crime. That's not what we're saying here, and we would never say that. But there's something funny about that, man. I don't know, man. But yeah, man. So here we are today. Today, just two guys, broke entrepreneurs, man. But the best part about being an entrepreneur is actually you're chasing your dreams, man.
You have to.
You're having so many experiences. You're succeeding and you're failing, mostly failing.
There's a lot
right?
of failing.
Mostly failing, man. And I failed yesterday, right? I probably failed a couple times today, man. I can't even count my failures anymore, man. But the success is super rewarding and definitely worth it. Cause you know what? Check this out, man. What's worse than fear, man? What's worse than having that feeling of fear?
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, my friend.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you, my friend. I was actually thinking about this the other day. So fear is an immediate, right, feeling, right? It's like, oh man, what if I can't do it? I feel bad. What if I can't pull it off, right? You feel that and you're like, I need to go away from that, right? Because humans want to go away from pain, right? We want to just go away from pain. That's not cool. We don't like that. We like stuff that feels good, right? Stuff that feels good. But I tell you what, man. I'm gonna let you in on the secret.
What is this secret?
I'm gonna let you guys in on the secret.
I will know the secret because I don't know it.
the secret is regret is 10 times as worse than fear. 10 times worse.
Okay.
10 times.
I can see
Listen,
that.
fear, again, is like an immediate thing that happens, right? Boom, I'm afraid I can't do it. I don't know. Boom. Regret, you don't do something that you know that you want to do and you should do. It doesn't hit you right away. It might catch up to you 20 years, right? It'll catch you 20 years from now. But
I
then
have a lot of regrets.
it's going to catch up to you, man. If it
not-
hasn't already.
It's usually immediate for me. Like, I regret not investing in Netflix stock.
Me too.
I
Okay.
didn't have the money, but I would have borrowed the money because I knew Netflix was going to turn around.
Me too. Man, I was one of the first people that had those. Do you remember those little coupon 7-day free Netflix things? I don't even know where I got them from. I was passing them out to people, and people were not trying to listen to me. I'm like, listen, man, Netflix, this is crazy. You mean to tell me I can search through movies, like I will be walking down in Blockbuster, like the aisles? I can just do that on my TV screen. That's crazy, man. This is gonna be a hit, right? Nobody was paying attention to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
And look what happened now. I
Yeah.
shouldn't invest, man. I was on to something.
I had another
Side note.
more recent one. A guy gave me a stock tip about a marijuana stock, and I had about 20 grand at the time to invest, and he was like, "Take all 20 grand and put it on this stock," and I'm like, "What?" Like, I don't know, because the stock was only 25 cents, and I don't really know much about the penny stock game at that point, and within, I want to say, a year, that stock went from 25 cents to $18 at its peak. Like, I would have made over $2 million if I would have just took that 20 grand and invested in that stock. I'm like it's instant regret for me.
Yeah.
It's nothing I hold on to. It's not
Okay.
like permanent regret, but
Okay, so
definitely
you
understand that.
you can have instant regret, but the regret that takes time, and within that, right? If you have regret 20 years from now, 10 years from now, when that regret hits you, when that pain hits you, it stays with you forever.
I agree.
It's a forever thing. Fear is just like, okay, I'm afraid it might not work out. I'm not gonna do it. But regret that's like, it might smack you in the face. You might be at your granddaughter's soccer game, right? Cheering on, and it might just smack you in the face.
That could happen. Just,
Yeah.
oh no.
And you just like,
Regret.
and you just start feeling sad.
I'm sad.
Because you can't come back from regret, right? Fear, you can kind of bust through that wall and just like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
At least
right?
you did it.
At least you did it. But regret, that's forever, man.
Yeah.
And that is like, the reason why I brought that up is that's my drive. That's my soul drive. Like, listen, I could do a bunch of stuff. People can laugh and say, "Oh, I thought you was gonna do that. You were gonna pull it off, and you failed. Look, you're a failure. Ha 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 ha." Right? That's like whatever to me. I don't really care that much. I don't even care if people are like, "I thought you was gonna pull it off." I'm like, "Well, I did it."
That happened.
My fear is being 70 years old and I can't even go back and do the things that I really wanted to do. Right? Can you imagine laying on your deathbed, right? Thinking like, man, I really wish I would have did A, B, and C. I really wish I would have did it. I should have just did it, right? I was afraid, but I should have just did it because then I could have just got it over it. Either I pulled it off or I did it, right? So that's my drive, man. When I'm running around, if you watch my Instagram, man, check that out. On my Facebook and my Snapchat, I'm running around doing a bunch of stuff. Like I said, driving for Uber, running a media company, taking classes, buying marketing classes, spending money that I don't have. I'm doing this all so I don't have that regret. I want to do something that I actually am proud of. I'm happy that I'm doing. I have a passion for. And with that, also, hopefully in the process, inspire other people to do whatever it is they want to do. And I hope this podcast inspire anyone who's listening and anyone who's watching. Right? Is this
Listening,
going on
watching.
YouTube?
We should throw it on YouTube. Throw it on
Alright.
YouTube. Throw it on Facebook.
Just throw it everywhere, man.
They just take that.
We just throw it everywhere, man. Okay.
Yeah, like my single biggest driving factor is that I know I am the only person in my family capable of taking care of my family.
You sure you want to go on the record and say that?
They already know it. They already tell me it. So it's already a pressure and a burden that's already placed on me, and it has been placed on me since I was a kid.
That's a huge burden, man.
It is a huge burden, but
Like,
it's
you have to succeed.
I don't have a choice.
Mm.
Like, I don't have a choice. Like, that doesn't mean that they can't hold down jobs and, take care of themselves. I'm not their parent. Like, I'm not babysitting them. They'll be able to take care of themselves. But in terms of the types of work that they do and the things they do when they get to a certain age, considering that the economy is going to continue to go the way the economy's going, they depend on me. Like, I loan my parents money. Like, I loan my siblings money. They all call me for money. So, like,
And man, you never gave me any money.
Yes, I have. I have. But that's besides the point. But so my single motivating
Let's move it
factor
on,
is...
because if I still owe you money, then
yeah, you don't want to talk about that, right?
I don't want to talk about that. I feel like I might have paid you back.
Maybe.
Uh,
But yeah, so like...
anyways.
My goal is to make sure that I can provide the opportunities for my friends and family to be able to do what they love and make a living doing that and be okay with that.
That's what's up, man. I feel like we're in the same boat. Have you always been in that space? Like that mindset
I was not always in that space. My grandmother was the person who was in that space. R.I.P. to my grandmother. She was always the matriarch of the family. She made the money. Everybody came to her for money, advice, everything. And then when she passed along, I felt there was a void that was left. And then it was kind of weird that hearing like other family members telling me, "We know you're gonna make it," and they all push me and get behind me. So I said, it's not like I'm like doing some charity work or something like that. It really is like they're pushing me and helping me because they know I have the potential to do more. And then because no one does anything by themselves, so they help you get to that certain point, and then you reward them by helping them when you get to that point.
Wow,
So,
man. I had the opposite, man. I had the opposite. I was on Hooked on Phonics. I was on Hooked on Phonics when I was a kid, man. That shit sucks, man.
I wanted Hooked on Phonics, even though I didn't need it.
Yeah, man. It was a struggle. I was in speech classes. I can't even talk today, man. I don't even know how I'm doing this podcast right now with you.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm here.
Here?
I'm here, man. I just don't want to be miserable. I talk to a lot of people, man. I meet a lot of people, and they're miserable, man, when they go to work, man.
Bro.
And that shit sucks, man.
Bro.
Like, I just can't. I physically can't. Like, either I'm gonna die trying to make it,
Yeah.
right? Or that's it. That's like, I don't have any other options. Like, I just can't go back to doing something. Like, I know too much. I read too many books. I've seen too much. I've met millionaires. I've been in mansions. I've been in seminars. I've been in rooms that I'm not even supposed to be in because I'm broke and it's for wealthy people, right? I've seen too much, man. I've seen too much, and I've seen the promised land, right? Is that what they say? And it looks good, man. And I'm not saying that I want to be rich. That would be nice, right? Being a millionaire would be nice.
I'll put it on record. My goal is to become a billionaire by the time I turn 55, and it will happen.
Okay, man. I love the confidence. Something similar to you, was like, I felt like I was the underdog, right, in my family. I was the guy on Hooked on Phonics again. I was the guy struggling through school, but I was also the guy that had a lot of creative ideas, right? I was always curious about stuff. I always questioned stuff, like, why is this, man? Right? And I think you kind of need some of those skills when you're an entrepreneur, this game of entrepreneurship, right? You kind of need to kind of go against the grain, right? You kind of need to ask the questions and kind of question, why is this, right? You need to kind of have that creativity to create something, right? And I feel like that's where I excel in, because I'm actually good at nothing. I'm good at nothing, man. I don't have any real talents, man. You got the smart thing going. You know, I got the I don't really have nothing. I have drive, hustle, and that's it. And I'm hopefully that'll take me to the finish line, right? Because that might just be my superpower. It's the hustle, right?
Sometimes that's all you need. I mean, you just got to find the people who do what you're not good at. Like, I know my skill set is very heavy tech business. Like, I can look at a technical problem or look at, like a digital marketing or anything that's technical related skill wise, learn it, and then find a solution to the problem. Or if I'm helping out a business, I can go. That's what I get paid to do on a contract basis. I get paid to go into business, assess their problems, and then tell them what the solution is or implement what the solution should be. And I've been doing that for a long time.
Okay, I feel you.
But like in terms of like having the vision, sometimes my vision is like very limited.
I got the vision.
Yeah.
I'm the vision guy.
You're the vision guy. You need a vision guy.
I like to solve problems, and I can see shit what other people can't see. Yeah. Right? I can spot talent, man. So I feel like I can spot talent.
My job is always to rein in the vision guy. The vision guy is like, yo, I want to make this rocket that's powered by pizza and goes to the moon. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can make a rocket that go to the moon, but you need to will in this thing and shape it this way and do this. And you're like, oh, right.
That's why we work well together, man.
Yeah.
Like, my visions are not extreme. I kind of think it through, right? I come up with something, and then your business expertise kind of works with my unconventional, kind of just random southpaw style, right? If I was a boxer.
Okay.
Right? And then you kind of come in and you kind of tailor it up, kind of structure it in a way where it's supposed to be structured, and then boom. We'll be coming up with ideas, man.
Yeah.
Some really good ideas. We just got to implement those ideas.
Make it happen. Take action every day.
Like this podcast, man.
Finally doing it, man. How does it feel?
It feels liberating, man.
To finally do it.
It feels like clean draws.
Yes.
When you put a pair of clean draws on.
Fresh out the dryer.
It feels good, man. Socks, when someone gives you new socks. That feeling of new socks.
Yeah.
That's what it feels, man.
Feels
and nice. I really feel like both of us, we're in a space right now where we could, talk to people about what we're doing, because we're actually starting to get traction in our business. So that and we have past experience and stuff. We've done some things, we failed at some things, we succeeded in some things, and now we're at I guess the peak of things are about to take off, right? So why not document it?
Bubbling up, man.
It's just kind of all right, man, I feel it, you feel it, let's just document it. Yeah. It's gonna be good content later in the years, man.
I mean, you just landed a couple of new clients.
I landed a new client.
Yes.
I sent out a proposal for a client yesterday, waiting to hear back. So hopefully, man, I'm pretty close to the point where I will be doing digital marketing full time. I'm actually good at that because I like psychology, man. I like social psychology. I love trying to figure out people, what makes them do the things that they do, why I do the things I do. I'm very hyper self-aware of myself, and I feel like that helps, right? So, yeah, man, we'll see.
Make it happen, man.
We'll see, man. If things go well, I'll be doing it full time, and then it will allow me to do other things, and kind of really push me to where I really want to go, man.
Yeah, nice.
So shout out to that, man.
I'm feeling things moving along as well too.
What you doing, man?
I actually just got interviewed for UC Irvine's Business School magazine for the third time.
Give it to me, man.
Third time.
That's what's up.
It's crazy. Also talking about taking my VersaFit company and pivoting it.
Okay.
We got a couple options on the table.
Okay. Can you say those options?
We can say those options. So we have the corporate wellness option, which is kind of where I'm favoring,
Okay.
and then we also have the premium content creation option. So we also, since we've worked with so many celebrity trainers or Instagram celebrity trainers, they always want high fidelity content, and we've been providing that to them, and we've been fidelity. It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, man.
And then we've been working with a good friend of ours. His name is Rory. He actually shot the Quincy Jones documentary on Netflix. If you haven't seen that, go watch it.
That's what's up. I haven't seen it.
Watch that. It's
Okay.
really good. So he did all the video editing and shooting for that, and he wants to partner up on premium content for sports and fitness. And it's something I'm passionate about. It's something I'm okay with pivoting what we're doing because we're already good at it.
I dig it.
So that's coming up. And in terms of like me landing clients, I'm actually going to be starting my new client chase on Saturday. So I know I can easily go back into straight up technical business consulting and pick up clients tomorrow if I want it. But I just care way more about sports. And so I'm going to be picking up more sports clients. I've already worked with a few sports-related companies in the past,
Okay.
but not at this level. So I'll be doing a little bit of business coaching, a little bit of digital marketing, brand development, and just pretty much just helping them craft a better business. I mean,
That's cool, man.
yeah. I mean, it's such a huge opportunity, and you see so many people struggling with it. In the mind state of people in this industry, a lot of them have been burned by digital marketing agencies that don't really know what they're doing.
Not my agency.
Hey, yeah, not your agency.
I'm a legit
right?
agency.
Legit.
Listen, I'm so under the market right
Yes, I know. I talked to a potential client yesterday, and she's very very top quality client. And she was telling me that one of the sorry, not client. She's very good at what she does in her space. But she was telling me that one of her current clients was robbed by this agency that charged them $60,000.
now. Wow. For
Yes.
1 month?
No, flat fee. So $60,000 to build out their brand, and to position their brand, like all their marketing, everything.
For how long though?
It's a flat.
Just forever?
So when you do like flat services, it's kind of like you have one price. So the $60,000 covered their digital marketing, not forever, but till they get to a certain point, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So they're taking them from nothing to funding. That's the goal.
Okay.
So this marketing agency charged the guy $60,000. The guy doesn't really know much. He knows his business, but he doesn't know how to like the digital side and all the other craziness. So he hired a company for $60,000 flat versus paying for what he thought another company was like $30,000 a month. And so he got robbed because this company they had to talk, but they actually didn't have the skill set. And basically what they were doing was just putting together random, PR stuff. They weren't actually helping him like truly build a brand. And so
That's whack, man.
yeah, so that's another thing that we're definitely going to be covering on this a lot on this podcast is how to identify the people who are providing you service and whether or not they actually know what they're talking about.
Right.
And that's my biggest skill set. But one of my biggest skill sets is that since I actually know how to do it and I've classically trained to do it, I can talk to someone and realize within 5 minutes that they have no idea what they're talking about. So
That's a good skill to have, man.
yeah, it's definitely a good skill to have, especially in our space.
Yeah, man. So even with all the things that's going on for you right now,
Yeah,
right? You're still broke, right?
I am broke. Everyone defines broke as different.
Right.
I drive an M3.
That doesn't sound like.
Doesn't sound broke, right?
Doesn't sound broke at all, man.
It doesn't sound broke, but it is broke. My mentor, he's a multimillionaire, right? So my M3 is like
It's
there's
nothing.
nothing to him.
I drive a Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah.
Okay. And I got miles on that thing because I've been driving for Uber and Lyft for 3 years now.
Yeah.
I got some miles.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wearing a hat. That's a melon hat. It's a $250 hat.
Okay.
I didn't pay $250 for it. I got it for free.
I cut my hair.
It's gold. You know?
I cut my own hair for free.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I'm just trying to save any penny.
Yeah. But I'm still broke by a lot of people's standards, and I'm even broke by my standards. Like, I'm not where I used to be. Like, whenever I got less than $10,000 in the bank is when I felt broke. That's when I felt like my back was against the wall.
Wow.
And I had to hustle.
Wow.
Like, that mark is different depending on where you are in your life.
Wow.
So for me, at this point right now, I have less than $10,000 in the bank.
And you feel broke.
I feel broke. I feel like, holy shit, shit's hitting the fan.
Okay, man. When I have like less than $200, I feel broke. Right. You see the difference there? But some people might feel like they don't feel broke till they have like $5. Or they're negative in their account and they're just like, man, I'm really broke. I'm like, yeah, I'm broke too, man. But I can still eat.
Yeah. Like I said, I went from remember from earlier in this episode, I went from having my own 2-bedroom apartment, making a ton of money, to having to downsize to a 1-bedroom, to renting out a master bedroom, to now living in Newport Beach, but I don't own the house.
Right.
I'm just renting a room in a house in Newport Beach.
And it's not even a master room.
It's not a master room.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I live in Newport Beach. It's great. I mean, you was going to complain about that. But I've downsized because of all the time I spent putting into my startup, which wasn't necessarily making me money, but it was getting me all this exposure.
Spent a lot of money.
Spent a lot of money. And it's one of the things I brought up very early on is like now I'm only focusing on things that are going to make me money. It's like all the philanthropic things that I want to do can't happen if I'm broke.
Right.
And right now I'm broke. And now it's the broke journey that we're on.
Now it's the broke journey, man. Listen, if you're an entrepreneur, you understand the journey. Yeah. And being a broke entrepreneur, man, it's really about the journey and following your dreams. It's okay. It's okay if you don't have any money, right?
Yeah.
It's okay if you're just starting out. It's okay if you've been doing this for a while, man, because it's all about the journey and having a passion for something and trying to change the world, right? Trying to change your situation, whether it's your, maybe your family, your friends. You're trying to. I feel like we have that in common. I've grown into like I really want to kind of break the cycle of my family, right? I really want to like help people with what I'm doing, right? And I want other people to follow their dreams,
Definitely.
And I don't know, man. That could be that could be how everybody feels when in this entrepreneur game. But it definitely is about the journey. It's
about the journey, and everybody has a different journey. You come in at different paths. Like our paths are very different. Like you don't have to be the smartest person, and you don't have to have all these degrees. Like that doesn't mean anything. The only thing that matters is, can you get out there? Can you grind? Can you hustle? Can you solve someone's problem? If you can solve someone else's problem, they can pay you for it. You now have a business. It doesn't even have to be digital marketing. It doesn't have to be what I do, which is consulting or business coaching. You could be a relationship expert. That's still a business. I can tell people, I can help people out with their relationships. Or you might be the best, baker in the world, and now you're being able to expand your bakery business out of your own apartment to selling cakes all over the world.
You pretty much do anything.
Yeah, it's a global economy.
I know people make a living and they do garage selling.
Yes.
They just go to garage sales and they buy stuff and sell it on eBay.
Yeah,
they make a living that way. Man.
It's a living.
They make like thousands of dollars. That's crazy.
I recently met a woman who made $20,000 in 30 days. Do you know what her business was?
How would I know that?
I know you wouldn't know that, but her business was helping women who are pregnant and who have just recently have babies get back in shape. That was her business.
That's a good business.
Yeah, she made $20,000 in her first 30 days because she did it.
That's
she
a
did
good
it herself.
business.
Like, she was pregnant, she gained all the weight, and a lot of women, have that experience of like, oh, I just had a baby, like, how am I going to lose this weight? And she has an entire, catalog of workouts that you can do with your baby, and she's off and running now because she has a passion for it.
Why didn't I think of that?
Well, you were never pregnant, so somebody's want you to think of it.
That's probably one of the key components of starting a business like that. And you're right.
And so when you're aware that anything that you love to do, if it solves a problem for someone else, you have a business.
And that's a good point, man. Let's leave on that note, man. I know that you have a lot of cool stuff to share.
So much.
I'm willing to listen because, one of the things that I do is I just surround myself with smart people like you, and
pretty basic.
And I get through life. That's how I get through life, man.
So we'll leave
so
it
I know
on that.
I know you're gonna have some really cool stuff, man.
What are we gonna pick up on next episode then? What do you want to talk about?
Man, I have I'm passionate about credit, man. I never thought I would ever say that, but I'm really passionate about teaching people how to leverage their credit score to get free stuff.
Okay.
Right? Because I've done it. I've done it for myself. I've done it for my wife,
Shout out to being married.
Shout out to that, man. I just got married.
Just got married, man.
Shout out to my lovely wife.
I have no plans on getting married if you're watching this.
I hope he does, man. I hope he does, man. Then we can go on those little married dates.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
We can sit across from each other in a booth.
I'm single, ladies. Maybe you can lock me down. Maybe.
Yeah. With that said, man, thank you guys for tuning in to the. Thank you for tuning in to the episode.
Thank you for tuning in. We're very excited to have you here listening to us. Have you watching us if you're watching. Next episode, we're going to talk a little bit about credit, personal credit, as well as business credit.
Leveraging credit to make some money, spend other people's money.
Yes.
Right? To make money. Sometimes, as being a broke entrepreneur, you have to spend other people's money to make money. And this is one of the ways that you can do it.
Yo, and then, man, that's great using other people's
money.
Right?
Look, we just came up with the next episode on the spot right now. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, man. So for the people that are listening, subscribe to wherever we put this out, Spotify, iTunes, wherever. And if we're going to put this on YouTube.
We'll put it on YouTube.
Okay. We'll subscribe on YouTube, man. Like, comment. Find us on social. Broke Entrepreneur Podcast. Facebook. That'll be at Broke Entrepreneur Podcast, right?
Yeah.
And then our Instagram is going to be at Broke Entrepreneur Podcast. Let us know what you thought of the episode. If you have any topics that you would like for us to talk about, that would be cool, man. Shoot that our way. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, as long as it's, legal. Right?
Yeah. Legal business only. If you're out there selling drugs, I mean, that's what you gotta do. I don't support that, but hey.
Yeah, man, but
we ain't talking about that over here.
I get the hustle, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I've been there before, but that's another podcast.
So definitely, when you tell your friends about the podcast.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell your dog,
tell your mom. I'm gonna tell my mama, I got a podcast.
Out to mama, he got a podcast. I'm on it too.
We got it. What's
you know me.
You know us.
I've been at the house a few times.
Tell your cousins.
Listen. Tell the person that gives you your coffee, man, at the next Starbucks, man. Just let them know about the podcast, man. Listen, tell a random stranger if you're walking down the street. Feel free to stop them and let them know, hey, have you heard the podcast?
Have you heard the Broke Entrepreneur Podcast?
Yeah, say it just like that. Yes. Have you heard the Broke Entrepreneur Podcast?
Yeah. It's fantastic content, if I do say so myself.
Thank you. All right, guys. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.
Take care.
Peace.